you.
But I like my vampires dark and dirty and like, yeah. I don't like sparkly vampires.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to Duel Perspectives. I'm Diamond Simons.
And I'm Sami Iman, and today we're going to talk about our top 10 books for 2019. And so these books are pretty much books that have inspired us or impacted us or entertained us in the past year or two, I would say. And we want to share them with you.
Yes.
So, Diamond, do you want to start?
I will start.
All right.
So, my first book is The Dream Giver.
Good book.
It's about a nobody that goes into the land of unfamiliar to become a somebody, and all his friends and family are like, no, don't go, you know, we don't know what's out there. And he just overcame a bunch of obstacles to become a somebody, so that's really good.
Really good book. Check it out.
Yep. And then my second one, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. A very good book about communication.
Yes.
Actually, I need to reread this book because it has so many good principles in it about communicating. So that's really good.
And if you ever want to do anything that's like business related, or you just want to learn how to go out and get your message across, read that book, reread that book, and reread that book.
Maybe once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's a yearly book.
Yeah.
And then we have The Magic of Thinking Big. Who's this by? David Schwartz. This was one of the first success-minded books that I've read, and it gave me a vision. It kind of gave me hope. It made me look at the world a little bit differently.
That's good.
And it made me want to dream. So,
all right.
Yeah, this is really good.
Nice.
And book number 4, Get Rich Lucky Bee, even though it doesn't say B on there, but I think she's English or Australian. I think she's English, but it's really good. I actually listened to the audiobook, and Mia had the hard copy, so I stole this from her for the purpose of this show. But it's really good. It's about basically just being okay with accepting more in your life and not feeling like you don't deserve it. Yeah. So it's really good. And then, last but not least, book number 5 for me is John Maxwell's Intentional Living. It's basically about everything that you do when you're striving towards a goal to be intentional. Who you hang out with, who you talk to, the things that you read or watch on TV. Just make sure you're intentional and everything is helping you strive towards your goal.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good book. John Maxwell is a really good motivational speaker too. So if you ever have a chance to see him speaking or pick up one of his books, definitely do that. It's really good. Well, those are some great books, Diamond.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, what you got?
Okay. All right. So my books, in, again, no particular order. But my first book that I have up is Quicksand in Passing by Nella Larson. And it's actually 2 of her books because she was a prolific writer during the Harlem Renaissance. And the Quicksand in Passing is 2 of her books in one. But the one that I read the most was the Passing one because it talked about 2 friends who were black but light enough to pass for white. And one of them chose to marry a black husband. The other one chose to marry a white husband. And then all the conflicts that creates, especially when you start reproducing and things of that nature and worrying about, are you ever going to get found out? So, really great book. Very entertaining. And like I said, a prolific writer from the Harlem Renaissance. So the next book is Monster by Walter D. Myers, and it's a really great book. What I loved the most about it was the writing style, because he did it like a courtroom documentary, like something like if you're watching like CSI or what is it?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, so it has a lot of like courtroom talk, or like if you're looking at a movie script or something like that. And I really liked it because a lot of times as a writer it's hard to convey emotion when you're writing in that style, but he did such a great job. And he even has like a little questionnaire at the end where they talk about why did you do that? Why did you give him this ending? And he was like, writers are crazy. I didn't give him that. The story gave him that. And I was like, okay, I see you, sir. You understand the struggle? Okay. The third book is The Go-Giver.
I like The Go-Giver. It's real good.
By Bob Berg and John David Mann. And this book did so much for me this past year. Because it talks about business principles in a way of like interacting with people every day. Mm-hmm. And it's the little things that that actually propels your business, and not, you don't have to make these big grand gestures. You can just shake a hand, look at somebody in the eye, mm-hmm. Compliment somebody, and you can never know how far that'll go.
You look nice today.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. The fourth book on my list is The Liars Club by Mary Karr. Now, this is a memoir, and it was actually a book that I had to read in college for an English lit class. I didn't read it then, but I read it after college, and I was like, this is actually pretty funny, and this is really good. And it pretty much details her life in southern Texas, and the things that she went through were like crazy, and she has a really sarcastic, witty sense of humor, and so but it still had this message of like, if you can go through this and still make it out on top, then you can get through anything. So love that book. And then one of my all-time favorite books, and notice I said one of, because I have a lot of favorite books. But this is one of my favorites, and it's The Alchemist. And I can never pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to. Paulo Coelho, I think, or something like that.
Paulo C.
Yeah. But, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you, especially if you're readers out there, have read this book, and so you understand how great it is. And it pretty much documents the journey of Santiago as he goes to find these riches. And and instead of it being like a straight path, like here's my starting point and here's the riches, I can just go from here to there, it takes him on this journey throughout life, and he learns so much about himself and the things that he can do. And it's like life in general, like we're not actually on a straight path to anywhere. It has all these twists and turns. You're going forward, you're going backwards, you're going sideways, you're looking at people like, hey, you're not going the right way, but they're like, you're not going the right way. And then at the end of it all, you find out that your riches are really you and what you can bring to the world, and not necessarily a physical manifestation of something. So great book. Great book.
Yeah. See, you got a sexy set of books too.
Just saying, I'm just saying. But yeah, so those are our top 10 books for 2019. I'm pretty sure as the year goes on for 2020 and beyond, we'll find some more great books. Especially doing this show, it's going to be so many more to choose from.
Yeah, start throwing some fiction books in there, because all of these are mainly nonfiction, right?
Yeah.
So there's some with storytelling, but
yeah, I have a nice little mixture. But I've always loved fiction books probably more than I have nonfiction books. But it's so funny because even in fictional books, you can still learn so much through a fictional book, like in most, there's some where they don't have any type of like meaning to them, and they're just a book for the sake of a book. But then you have those ones that have like an underlining meaning, and you're like, oh man, yeah, I could totally do that. I could totally fix my life, Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, I like that, because a lot of them, like, they're not structured. They're just kind of like, this is the way life is, unabridged and crazy and wild, but you can still learn something from it.
Unless it's Twilight. I love Twilight.
We will not talk about Twilight in this.
Twilight is my favorite. I want a vampire. Okay,
There's a reason why it's not in her top 5 books, though. So can't be too much of her favorite.
I don't own the book, but I did borrow it once and I read it. I don't own it.
She didn't even like it enough to buy it herself. So yeah, Twilight. There you go. For all you fans out there who do like Twilight, good for you.
Yes. We all need
for those of you who don't, good for you.
We all need an Edward in our lives.
Yeah, you know, I like my vampires more like, I think it's Diary of a Vampire. What is that? I don't like Edward vampires.
Oh, the Vampire Diaries?
No, it's not the Vampire Diaries. It's Interview with the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire.
She
Dark
likes stuff
and
that
dirty.
no one's ever even heard of.
I'm guarantee you they've heard of it because it's a really great book. And it turned into a movie with Brad Pitt, by the way. But I like my vampires dark and dirty and like, yeah. I don't like sparkly vampires.
Okay.
So these are our top 10 books for 2019. And so what we'll do is we'll leave a link for them down in the description so that you can go get them yourself. If you want something to read over the holidays, we will do that for you.
Yeah, so just be sure to leave some comments. Let us know what your top books are. Maybe we'll check them out, and maybe someone else will want to check them out. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we can't wait to see what you guys post. We want to see what you're reading. So we look forward to seeing all that.
Right.
So we will see you next time. And when we see you again, it'll be
2020.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. If you like what you saw today, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Love ya.